The University of Vermont Alumni Association recognizes Sasha Fisher with the 2020 Outstanding Young Alumni Award.
What brought me to UVM was the passion that I saw on campus, and I felt like this is a place I want to be, where folks are motivated to create change in their local community. As an undergrad, I basically attended anything I possibly could. There was a wealth of opportunity in the clubs on campus.
I met Sasha at UVM back in 2008. Right away, I saw this little woman with a huge backpack and tons of books voraciously reading, and we immediately just hit it off. She just was always curious and very goofy.
While I was at UVM, I helped start a group to support an organization that was budding in Vermont called the New Sudan Education Initiative. And I had the fortune of traveling with my friend Atem. I followed Atem to South Sudan and got to see firsthand some of the challenges embedded with how we historically do foreign aid. So I saw a lot of money pouring into South Sudan, but not a lot of that money being controlled by the South Sudanese, who had just fought for over 2 decades to gain independence.
She's creating a mission that's bigger than herself and is something that can really last for a long period of time, not just in the regions that she's currently in, but in many places around the world, including the United States.
I think my relationship with UVM means really a testing ground for questions that I had about the world. And I appreciate that UVM creates that for a number of students on campus to explore our ideas, challenge our ideas, and make sure that we leave there with some sort of passion in an area that we want to invest further education in. And that's why I moved to Rwanda after graduating and unknowingly started an organization that ended up being called Spark. We started Spark because all too often communities facing poverty sit on the sidelines of the change initiatives that are meant to uplift them. And at Spark, we believe that every family and every community should have the right to determine their own positive future. And so we provide 6 months of facilitation for women and men, young and old, to sit together, to dream together, to develop project ideas together, and a seed fund of $8,000 to every village, every time, so that families can launch a project that they believe in.
She started Spark to change people's hearts and minds, and Sasha's mission has always been about paying it forward so that it's self-sustaining and that Spark isn't about her, it's about the work.
Some of the benefits of Spark's model are that communities create change over the long term. At Spark, one of our differentiators and the greatest impact that we see is that the majority of our community partners, 91%, go on to continue meeting and continue to create change over time. Each household that engages in this process increase their household assets by 20 to 80% in their first year. What that means is that the majority of households are now able to feed their families more today than they were before the Spark process.
She greatly believes in the communities that she's serving, and she doesn't come in with, one size approach saying this is what's going to work. She says every community should be leading their own development, their own success, and their own growth.
I have the fortune of being one of the first Obama Foundation Fellows out of an application pool of over 20,000 folks from all over the world. What it reminds me of is what hope there is in the generation of young folks all over our world. That if we listen to young leaders, if there is space for young leaders to emerge and put their ideas forward, that we will have a much more inclusive and a much more supportive world for all.
Sasha, I am so proud of you. UVM has been the birthplace of so many things, and so to see you get celebrated for something that is so clearly deserved, this is just the beginning of so much more.
For her innovative approach to international development, while partnering mostly with impoverished East African communities, the University of Vermont Alumni Association is proud to present Sasha Fisher with the 2020 Outstanding Young Alumni Award.